everybody, and welcome to episode 341 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. This is a magic podcast for you if you play magic. Hence calling it a magic podcast.
That was very smart of us.
Whether you're sitting at home jamming some arena, or you're heading out to your local game store for some Friday night magic, we are here for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts.
What happened? What happened to Meghan? But, spoiler
Meghan.
alert, it's Meghan.
It's me. I wanted to leave you in a little bit of suspense.
I was so worried. I didn't know who you might be today.
No, it's Meghan.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so we're continuing on as normal.
Yes.
As your two hosts, Maria and Meghan.
Yep.
But on today's show,
Nothing
a lot of
weird to see here.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. We're going to talk a lot about Commander because Commander 2019 previews have begun in earnest.
That's right. There's a sick new deck, and we can talk about the whole thing.
We have two preview cards as well, which go into the deck. You see this? This is what's called Synergy.
Oh.
Synergy.
Wow.
A lot of people super excited. And even if you don't consider yourself a Commander player, Meghan and I don't often play Commander a lot. Like
because there's so many cards to shuffle.
There's
That's honestly
60
the number one thing.
100 cards.
100 cards.
So many cards.
So many cards.
I was going to complain about 60 because that's also a lot for my small hands to handle.
100 cards is a lot to shuffle. Anyways.
But even if you don't play on the reg, these Commander Precon decks that Wizards is releasing are super fun to just buy and play like randomly with friends and stuff. I'll bring them up to my cabin and battle with them. So I think they'll still be of interest to you.
Yeah, they're super sweet.
We're also going to talk about the London Mulligan.
Yes.
Or should I just say the Mulligan?
The Mulligan, because now it is the Mulligan rule for Magic.
Mulligan.
And obviously it has been this way for a while, but we're going to go back into talking about some Mulligan strategy. When do you want to? When don't you want to? When? I
mean, it is important because, it is a whole new world with the London Mulligan.
Yep.
It changes your decision making more than you might think and gameplay as well. So what's important? And, as Meghan said, when?
Yeah. When? Anyways.
Before we get into our show, big thank you to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Yes, if you are a patron of the show, you are literally keeping it on the air, and it means so much to us. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yes.
And you can sign up to play against me in Arena.
That's right.
This Thursday. That sign up is on our Discord.
Yep.
Under the Arena section. Or there's also, Maria made a post in Patreon about it.
Yeah, if you're below squirrel level, which is a lower donation than $5 a month, you can still comment on the post I made on Patreon with your Arena username and number and what format you want to challenge Meghan in.
Yeah.
And then just head on over to the stream, be watching, and then you'll get in line and you'll battle Meghan, whatever format of your choosing.
That's right. And you can challenge Maria next week.
Yes.
That one's going to be in the evening to accommodate evening hours people. And then we're having a little hangout at the end of the month.
I'm very excited for the hangout.
So if you want to get in on some of those sweet benefits, head on over to our Patreon and sign up.
Yeah, and if you're going to be at GP Minneapolis this weekend, we are going to be there as well. You can check us out at a meet and greet at the Weird Cards booth on Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m.
Awesome.
So we're going to be there for whatever you want. We've got stickers, and if you're a patron, just let us know you're a patron, and you get an extra special prize.
Ooh,
the patron benefits never stop!
They never stop, much like the ocean.
It doesn't.
No.
It just keeps on oceaning.
Yeah, it sure does. Waves keep happening. The Gulf Stream. Anyways. What?
I don't know. The Gulf Stream.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's important.
I was thinking of calling a book the Gulf Stream.
What?
The Gulf Stream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's Gulf's dream, the Gulf's dream.
So the
like
golf,
a golf
the
ball
golf ball is having a dream specifically.
Yes.
Is it it's a sleep dream, or is it like an ambition?
An ambition. It wants to be the ocean. Do you see?
I can't say that I do.
I don't know.
I can't say that I do, but
narrow fandom.
Maybe in execution it'll work out.
We'll see. We have yet to be seen or written.
The golf's dream. Anyways, thank you also to our sponsor, Card Kingdom, cardkingdom.com/GLHF. It is an awesome place to go for everything that you need in the Magic world. Do you need boosters? Do you need 6 swag? Do you need singles? Any of it.
Do you need these commander decks we've just been talking about?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, you do is the answer. And yes, you should get them from Card Kingdom is the second answer.
Yeah, that is so true. They're just a wonderful company. Great customer service. They'll bend over backwards to help you with whatever you need. Yeah. And we just support that kind of company. And we're so happy that they're one of our sponsors supporting us. What have you got there in your hand, Megan?
I've got some stickers for our board game channel.
Oh, shoot.
This seems like we planned this, but we didn't. I was just messing with them because they were in front of me. And my hands needed something to do.
But Megan, why do you think they were sitting there in front of you?
Oh, because we have a board game channel.
I strategically placed them there.
Oh,
thinking
so that we
you
could talk about
pick them up.
Oh, here that you go. You can also visit our board game channel, youtube.com/GLHF board games.
Yeah.
For some awesome board game reviews. Our board game reviewer, Nicholas, just went to Gen Con.
It was
and
sweet.
Came home with literally 50 games.
I am
How many?
So excited.
50 games. 50 games.
50 games.
So if you're ever interested in gaming outside of Magic, maybe like some board games with your friends or that sort of thing, head on over to that channel because he will tell you what is what.
That's so
and
true.
And he's always got his sights on the new games that are coming out. So.
And he always answers the very most important question.
Yes.
That we're always wondering.
Yes.
When?
When? When?
Just when?
When?
Let's talk about Commander 2019 edition.
That's right. There is a sick new Sultai deck that they have previewed yesterday, which I am very excited about.
Yeah, there are going to be 4 pre-con decks made by Wizards of the Coast to kind of celebrate the release of Commander 2019 with a bunch of new cards, a bunch of reprints, and some really fun new commanders for you to play with. And the one that we have a complete deck list of as of today, recording the podcast on Tuesday, is this sweet Faceless Menace deck.
Yes, with the commander Kadena, the Slinking Sorcerer.
And it's very apt that this deck is called the Faceless Menace. Were you slinking over there?
Yeah, that was me slinking.
Because it's all about Morph.
Oh, I love it. I love Morph so much.
Morph is an amazing mechanic.
For those of you who are not around when Morph last happened, which was during Khans of Tarkir block, what it means is that creatures with Morph, you can pay 3 mana of any color and play it face down as a 2/2.
Yeah.
And then it has a little morph cost on its front face, and you can flip it over for that morph cost.
And sometimes you get cool benefits when you unmorph the creature. Mm-hmm. And of course, you can just play it as a normal creature too from your hand.
Yep.
Without going through all the morph stuff. But
it is awesome.
It is awesome. It's a way to it helps smooth out your mana curve because you'll always have something to do on turn 3 no matter what. It's surprising. Your opponents don't know what's coming.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, there's like the whole game of like, oh, is this just going to be a little 2/2 if I block it? Or is it going to be a 6/6?
Yeah, I know. We played this game during, I almost said Khans of Tarkir.
Yep.
Khans of Tarkir all the time.
All the time. And so Kadena, Slinking Sorcerer says, or Kadena?
Kadena, yeah.
Kadena. Slinking Sorcerer says, the first face-down creature spell you cast each turn costs 3 less to cast. So basically, you can
free.
play your first morph for free.
That's awesome.
Amazing. And also, whenever a face-down creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
I love this card.
Great.
She's also just a 3/3 for 4.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just solid. And gosh, I don't know. I love anything that makes you just, that highlights the mechanic and gives you benefit for playing with the mechanic to the utmost with your deck.
And this is like one of the biggest benefits to playing with the mechanic that I've ever seen. Just draw a card.
Just draw a card.
Straight up, you can cast a morph for free and you can draw a card.
Just draw a card.
Amazing.
So Wizards have set up this deck with a bunch of morphs in it, of course, and have made a lot of synergy going on here. Probably plays very well against the other commander decks that are coming out. There's 22 morphs in this base version from WotC, but feel free to go to crazy town. Like you can put as much as you want in here. You can add more morphs from your collection.
Yeah.
Whatever you love, you can put into this deck.
Here's one of you remember this, buddy?
Oh yeah.
Death Mist Raptor.
Oh wow.
1 green for a 3/3 lizard beast, Death Touch. And it says, whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, you may return Death Mist Raptor from your graveyard to the battlefield face up or face down. And it also has Megamorph for 4 and a green.
Oh, yeah.
So you can turn it face up for its Megamorph cost and put a +1/+1 counter on it. Megamorph. To be fair, that was the one where like they named it. And everyone was like, really?
What? Megamorph?
That was what you named it?
The worst named mechanic, perhaps, in the history of Magic.
Yes, but a cool mechanic.
Yes. And so we're going to see lots of blasts from the past, like Death Mist Raptor there.
Yeah.
Was a player in Standard for a while.
Oh, sure.
Remember
was.
those days?
In that Morph deck.
Yeah. I'm very excited for a blast from the past
yes.
in the form of Sagu Mauler, which was one of my favorite cards in Cons of Tarkir.
We love Sagu Mauler.
I mean, do you remember just opening a Sagu Mauler in a draft and just being like, all right,
I can win.
I'm doing it.
I'm winning this.
So Sagu Mauler, if you don't remember, is a 6/6 for 6 with trample and hexproof, which is one of the reasons I love it. Oof. Morph cost of 3 green-blue, so a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And
you could have a turn 5.
Turn 5.
6/6 hexproof.
Trample hexproofer.
Oh, and there were times when like it was a morph and they would target it and you would turn it face up.
And you're just like, haha.
Hexproof.
Just kidding. You can't.
So good.
I loved Teamer
good.
in that set though, so I was very partial to the Sagu Mauler.
Yeah. This deck obviously has first off Trail of Mystery.
Oh yeah, we
talked
about this on the upkeep.
Another one from Cons of Tarkir.
Yeah.
For the Morph deck. And Secret Plans.
Secret Plans.
Secret Plans. Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up Trail of Mystery.
We'll see if it'll load. Trail of Mystery and Secret Plans. Okay, go
Trail
for it.
of Mystery is a 1 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever a face-down creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, if it's a creature, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn.
That is so hard to deal with.
Yeah.
If that is out early.
+2/+2, and you can get all the lands that you need, and then Secret Plans.
Oh, Secret Plans!
I drafted the Secret Plans deck so much.
It was a great deck.
It was a great deck that you could draft during Cons of Tarkir. Yeah. Green blue, face down creatures you control get +0/+1, and whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, draw a card.
So here you go.
So can you imagine having your little Slinking Sorcerer out? So you play it face down, you draw a card. You turn it face up, you draw a card.
Wow, you have all the cards.
Every card is just a divination. Which is what I want. I want every card I play to be a divination.
You know, I'm not a card drawing, fanatic, but I have to say I do like it, and that seems excellent. Mm-hmm. I love how thematic this deck is, and of course that's one of the fun parts of Commander is you can kind of design your deck around a specific theme, or in this case, morph an ability. So I think that's pretty awesome. And you're going to see your favorites, like we've mentioned, from some of these cards, and you're going to see a bunch of new cards entering these decks as well. Yeah. So we know Kadena. She also has her Silencer along for the ride this time, a 2/1 for 2. 1 and a blue, a Naga Wizard. Also, people who love Nagas, this deck is for you. When Kadena's Silencer is turned face up, counter all abilities your opponents control.
Wow.
Megamorph 1 and a blue at rare.
Sick.
Yeah. Do you remember Karo's Spell Snatch?
I sure do. This is 3 and a blue, a Megamorph 4 blue, so expensive.
Yeah.
But it's a 3/3. When it's turned face up, counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it. Instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost for as long as it remains exiled.
That card was basically like you
counter,
win the game.
Steal.
Yep. I'll take your...
Yeah. Oh. Whatever your spell is. Whatever your big spell is, it's mine.
It's mine now.
I Karu spell snatched it.
So this deck also seems a little bit tricksy, which I think is one of Morph's deals.
Yep. It's got the blue in there, which allows you to draw cards and counter spells. That's the part that I'm concerned about. You can tell me how it's tricky in other colors.
Sure.
Those are the ones that I care about.
Well, here's another blue card that I think is pretty neat in this deck. Vesuvian Shapeshifter for 3 blue. It's a 0/0. What? Okay, there's more text, everybody. Don't worry. It's not going to die as soon as it enters the battlefield. As it enters the battlefield or is turned face up, you may choose another creature on the battlefield. If you do, until Vesuvian Shapeshifter is turned face down, it becomes a copy of that creature, except it has, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may turn this creature face down, morph 1 in a blue.
Whoa.
Wow.
So you can just turn it face up. Boop.
Boop,
it's whatever.
boop, boop.
Turn it face down. Make it something better.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, why not?
Amazing.
Another cool thing about this deck is that Good Luck High Five had 2 preview cards in it.
That's right.
And a lot of people were very excited about one of these, which you might think doesn't really go in the Morph deck. And I will counter and say to you, it goes in any deck that plays green.
That's correct.
And that is Apex Altasaur.
Wow. It's a big dino.
It is huge.
It is a 10/10 dino specifically. When I say big, I mean it is a 10/10 dino.
I love it.
For 7 green. And it says when it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Then
Great.
It has Enrage. Whenever it is dealt damage, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So you could just keep fighting things.
It just keeps
until
going.
this is dead, or you choose not to, because it does say up to 1.
Yep.
Or they have no creatures
Or
left.
you've just swept the board with your dinosaur.
Yep. Wow. I love it.
I love dinosaurs. I have a dinosaur singleton deck, which is as close as I can get to a commander deck on Arena right now.
Yep.
And I'm a huge fan. And if you're a huge fan of dinos, here you go. I don't know. Maybe you have a Dino Commander deck. This goes in that too.
Ooh, this also has old school Den Protector.
Oh, Den Protector.
This is another hit from back in the time of Cons of Tarkir.
Yes.
1 in a green for a 2/1, but obviously it has Morph. Creatures with power less than Den Protectors can't block it. Megamorph 1 in a green. When it's turned face up, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. That was a great card.
So good.
Just, bring back whatever you want. Any card from your graveyard to your hand.
So resilience built into this deck as well. So not only are we, smoothing our mana curve with Morph, we're getting resilience with Den Protector, and we're countering our opponent's spells with all of our tricky creatures.
Great.
Excuse me. We also had a Planeswalker in this deck.
Yeah, we do.
Let's not forget about her and her beautiful snake hair.
This is the Vraska that came from Return to Ravnica.
Yes. I remember her very well because I opened her in, of course, what would have been one of the first drafts we were playing.
Yeah.
And
she was like one of the first Planeswalkers we ever encountered.
That's true. Yep. Golgari in that set I don't remember it being very good, but
no,
maybe,
it wasn't.
Okay, that's why I don't think I have happy memories. But she's a very good card. So
yes.
3 green-black for a 5 loyalty Planeswalker +1 until your next turn. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to Vraska the Unseen, destroy that creature. Okay, so make your choice.
So you can try and attack her loyalty down, but you're gonna lose your creature.
You're gonna be very sad. -3, destroy target non-land permanent.
Dang,
can be
Vraska.
very relevant in Commander. -7, create 3 1/1 black assassin creature tokens with whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a sweet ultimate.
Loses the game.
Just lose the game.
I remember. Okay, I'm gonna take you on a journey back.
A memory journey.
To the standard format.
Yeah.
And the deck that I was playing was, of course, the Sphinx's
Revelation
control deck. And I was playing against someone who was like Jund or something like that. Like one of the classic creature decks, value decks at the time. And this game was long. It was drawn out. They were just top decking, and they had managed to top deck a Vraska.
Okay.
And they were just ticking her up. And then they ultimate her. And I was like, okay. And I play the Jace at the time, Architect of Thought, I want to say, whose +1 ability is whenever a creature attacks you on the next turn, it gets -1/-0. So I was just like,
great.
Attack me all day with your 1/1 assassin.
I don't care.
Because
no power.
It does not matter.
Wow, that's sick.
Yeah, it was great.
That was I didn't play Standard back then.
Yeah.
I remember walking into the game store and seeing you playing Standard and being like, I don't know what's happening here. I have no clue.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I vividly remember that game.
So that's the deal with the Morph deck.
It looks so cool. And like we said, we love playing these commander decks against each other.
Absolutely.
They're just so much fun.
It's really fun.
So hopefully we'll have a video for you in the next couple of weeks when those decks are actually out.
Let's go over the other commander decks that are going to come out just really quickly.
Yeah. Maria and I will fight each other for the Sultai one.
Okay.
But I will win.
So Meghan will be playing the Sultai Morph deck. So now we're going to choose my deck, everybody. Okay. All right. So we've got Madness as another mechanic.
Ooh, this one's pretty sick.
Is Rakdos. So I might be in the camp here. And also the commander is amazing. Anya Falconwrath. I love all of the Falconwrath family. 1 red black for a 1/3. Legendary creature vampire with haste. Tap, discard a card, draw a card. Okay, great. Whenever you discard a card, if it has Madness, untap Anya Falconwrath.
Great.
Okay, so we see what's going on there, by the way. And Madness, very fun mechanic again.
So Madness cards, again, for people who are unfamiliar, if a card has Madness, what it means is that if you discard it for any reason, like to this ability, it has a little Madness cost, which you can pay, and you'll get to cast that card.
Cool.
Instead of discarding it.
Yeah, it's basically
you're still discarding it, but then you get to cast it. Yeah. It's so cool.
And so that's option 1. Option 2, we have Girid Conclave Exile. So this is a Naya friend, a 2/5 for 2 red, green, white for human shaman. When he enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 green rhino creature token with trample. Whenever Girid attacks, populate.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So this is another throwback to Return to Ravnica.
Yes, populate deck here. The token enters the battlefield tapped and attacking.
Sick.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's aggro, and I do love to attack. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Girid, I think,
have to think about it.
Pretty good.
You have to think about it. So populate just means, you get to create a copy of any token that you have.
Yeah, populate was super good in Return to Ravnica.
Oh, it was very good. I loved playing it.
Here we have Seven the Chronoclasm, another option for me. I don't think I'm going to go with this one, but I'm going to let you know what it's all about.
Yeah.
Jeskai.
More my colors.
Yeah. 2 blue, red, white for a 2/2, human wizard. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Seven the Chronoclasm. Okay, so you're going to have to deal with this thing a different way.
Yep.
Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard each turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy.
And that's because this one has a lot of flashback, this deck.
Yeah, the flashback deck.
So you're going to get to cast a spell the first time, and then if it has a flashback cost, you'll cast it again from your graveyard, and then you'll get to copy it if you have the Chronoclasm on the battlefield.
I'm going to have to make a choice here.
Yeah.
I think Girid actually plays the most like how I like to play Magic, which is big smashy creatures. But the Madness deck seems very, very fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, as does the flashback deck. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see because... you're going to just have to wait and see because we got to get our hands on these commander decks and start going to town. I want to call out the fact that there are other commanders included with these decks too.
Oh yeah, there always are. So these are some other legendary creatures that are otherwise just in the deck that you get to play. And
you can choose for yourself if you don't like the one that it comes with. You can kind of mix it up. And I just want to mention Gerard Weatherlight Hero here because the art is so cool. Is unbelievable.
It's so good.
This is a Boros card. So Gerard in this what's
by
the word?
Zach Stella.
Zach Stella, congratulations. You have made a beautiful work of art here. What was I going to say? This iteration. Iteration of Gerard is a 3/3, 2 red, white for human soldier with first strike. When he dies,
because that's what Gerard does best.
Oh, Gerard. Exile it and return it to the battlefield. Hold on. My old eyes need this closer. Exile it and return to the battlefield artifact and creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Okay, I see.
Wow. So you can get back any artifacts and creatures that died this turn.
And if you want to know more about Gerard and the history of the Weatherlight, you can watch our videos that we made about the history of Dominaria on the Magic YouTube channel.
That's right.
Where Meghan plays Gerard.
I do play Gerard. That's right. I forgot about that.
You can search for
do, though.
Like the completely true history of Dominaria Magic or something like that. Yeah. You'll get it. The title is something ridiculous, but your Gerard, I think, was spot on.
Thank you. I think so too, honestly. I looked a lot like this drawing.
Watch it for Meghan's beard alone is what I'm going to tell you right now. But yeah, stay tuned to dailymtg.com because that is where you're going to find the deck lists that go along with these 4 Commander pre-con decks. Jimmy and Josh over at the Command Zone are previewing the decks once they are released. So you can also watch their videos. They're 2 great guys about how the deck works, some important cards in the deck.
2 Great Guys is also the name of their sitcom where they're roommates.
I would love to see that show.
As would I.
It'd be kind of like a little odd couple-y.
Yeah, it really would.
Oh, I would be down for that.
Well, we have to work on getting them to do that.
Okay, we'll work on it. Let's have a chat about the London Mulligan.
Yes. More specifically, when?
When? I mean, this is a question we asked
Going
at the top
back
of the show.
to the beginning, when? So mulliganing has always been, a
Hard.
tough decision to make.
Yes.
It is one of the most critical decisions that you can make sometimes.
Absolutely it is.
Depending on how that game ends up playing out. And it's always something that's like, it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
There is no hard and fast rule, except if you don't have any lands, then you should definitely mulligan that. Or if you don't have any spells.
Unless you've already mulled to 4.
Yeah.
In which case, I guess just take your chances.
Whatever. If it's all one or all the other, then probably, but whatever.
But it is also one of the biggest ways that you can level up your game too with, what seems like a small decision at the start of the game can oftentimes have a huge impact on whether you win or lose. And I see a lot of people actually play games of Magic and be like, oh, well, I had no chance, or there was just no way I could win that game. And they get very kind of salty about it. But the truth is, if you looked at their choice of a mulligan, they either should or shouldn't have mulliganed in a certain situation. You're like, well, I can point to one decision that you made that you can easily control that made that game not play out the way you wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Maria.
Yes.
What does it mean to mulligan?
So to mulligan is to kind of draw your opening hand, decide you don't like it, and you want to try it again.
That's right.
And over Magic's history, the mulligan has been in many different forms.
Yes.
Including at the beginning, which was very, very weird, and it only let you mulligan if you had all lands in your hand.
That is so strange.
Yeah.
So you'd have to prove it. You show them your
see,
hand.
look at this.
Look at this. All
and
lands.
then you could mulligan.
All lands.
And at some point, somebody was like, that seems bad.
That's very bad. So when we started playing, it was just like what I think of as like the classic mulligan.
The classic one that was around for years.
Yep, which is where you look at your opening 7, you're like, I don't like this. You throw it back and you draw 1 fewer.
Yes.
And you draw 1 fewer every time you mulligan. So you mulligan to 6, you mulligan to 5, et cetera, et cetera. After that came what was for a while, it was the Vancouver Mulligan. Again, named after the Pro Tour where it was first introduced or tried out. Mm-hmm. And this was where you would scry.
Yeah.
After you mulligan. Like if you mulligan, once you've decided to keep, you get to scry either to the top or bottom.
Yep. And only once.
Yep.
And
once.
now talking about that that already seems strange. Isn't that funny?
Yes, it does.
Wow. Okay.
And it was what we did.
It was like yesterday.
It was like yesterday.
What weird. So
Yeah.
now we're living in the world of the London Mulligan, once again named for the Pro Tour where it was tested, where you draw 7, take a look, and if you decide to mulligan, you put them back in, you shuffle, you draw another 7, and then depending on how many times you've mulliganed, you take that many cards out of your 7 and put them on the bottom of your library.
Yeah. So if you've mulliganed once, you're just going to look at your 7, take 1 card away, put it on the bottom.
Yep.
It is a fascinating thing.
It really is.
It is so strange. And so how do you feel about it so far?
Well, I will just say this broad statement about the fact that there was one mulligan for so long.
Yes.
Right? The one that we're calling the classic mulligan. And now within, the past couple of years, we've already had 2 different iterations, Vancouver and London. So I really appreciate the fact that R&D or whomever is working on this inside Wizards of the Coast is paying attention and wants to help people out with this problem in the game.
They're just like, guess what? We already have a great game.
Yes.
But what if we took this frustrating element and we worked to improve it?
And we tried to make it as much better as we possibly could.
Because they didn't have to.
No, they
could have
didn't.
just kept going on with the mulligan
people would have been
as
like,
it was for
right.
forever. Exactly.
But so them working on it, I think is wonderful. And who knows if London is the last iteration. I will probably raise my hand and say I highly doubt that it is.
Yeah.
I think they'll come up with something. They're going to continue to iterate on this.
Yes.
But as far as London Mulligan goes.
What do you think the next mulligan's going to be?
You take your opening hand and you throw it in the dumpster. What did I come up with once? It was so stupid. I was like, what if the cards you use, if you're playing a match, the cards you used in the first game, you were not allowed to use in the second game.
What?
So you just had to, this is like a standard situation. You had to remove those cards. Okay. You can only play with the cards you didn't see in game number 1 and game number 2.
But that's making your deck smaller, which is also very good.
It's true. It's true.
Weird. Okay, here's mine.
Okay.
Here's mine, which would be way more easy to implement online. This would be a nightmare to implement.
Let's hear
the
it.
number of times that you've mulliganed, you'd shuffle that many basic lands into your deck.
But what if you don't want that many? What if then you flood?
Well,
too bad.
There you go.
A lot of people have suggested over the years of having one pile for your spells, creatures, etc., and one pile for your lands. You can choose which deck to draw from at any given moment.
Wow.
I think
that would feel too much not like Magic.
Yeah, I think it gets too far away from the original vision of the game. It becomes a little weird and complicated, and it just kind of becomes a different game, honestly.
Yeah.
At that point. And a lot of people actually point to the fact of that we have to iterate on all these mulligans, decisions, and all this kind of stuff as like the thing that is wrong with Magic, right? So Hearthstone, for example, you just get a mana every turn.
Yeah.
No matter what. And you only have spells in your deck. But for me, that doesn't solve the problem.
Yeah.
Because then Hearthstone has to say, well, we need more random elements, right? Otherwise, every game is going to be too similar.
Yeah.
So now a lot of our cards have random effects instead of
annoying.
The innate randomness of the game itself.
Yeah.
Which is what Magic has.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to tell me to prefer one, it's obviously Magic.
Yeah.
It is more fun and more variable than that system.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the solution either.
Yeah. And there's the current Planecation event on Arena, which is where they're going around to different planes, and there's a different format on each one, and you can win fancy basic lands.
Yep.
The top one are the full arts from Unhinged. They are gorgeous.
I still have to play beautiful. This one.
Anyways, you need to start. It ends like tomorrow.
Oh my god. Okay. Great.
Anyways, what were we talking about? Planecation. It's on Ixalan, and it's treasure constructed.
Yes.
Where at the beginning of your upkeep, you create a treasure token. And I have to say that I have enjoyed it.
Okay.
It obviously is also busted.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Because you can cast something for 6 mana on turn 3, and you don't want that constantly in the game. No. But there is something about it that is very interesting.
Okay.
And I think does kind of mimic that idea of like, what if your mana was a little bit more flexible?
Right.
But I don't know. I also don't think that would be an answer.
No.
Because like I said, oh, buddy.
You can break it for sure. So they're still working on it. Everybody around has opinions and is still working on it. But let's talk about, going back to your question, is how do I like London Mulligan? To answer, I love it.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's amazing.
Yep.
It feels so much better than the Vancouver Mulligan. Like, I can't even, an order of magnitude better than the Vancouver Mulligan.
It feels like you still have a chance sometimes.
And you do.
Yeah.
A lot of times going down to 5 was something that you bragged to your friends about when you won.
Yeah.
Right? I won off that multi 5.
Yep.
Back in the day. I remember that. Even before Vancouver, you're like, hey, check it out. They had 2 more cards and I got them.
multi 5.
And now, if I multi 5, I don't think I'm necessarily out of the game.
Oh, I disagree with that. I think like 6 still feels rough to me. My opponent's on 7, especially if I'm on the play. And 5 still feels bad.
I mean, it is a disadvantage for sure. There's no question about it.
It does feel better than the Vancouver Mulligan did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think I appreciate the number of times that I feel like I draw a 6 that is acceptable.
Yes, for sure. Especially in Standard, right? Because in Standard, we know what our deck is trying to do. And so we can just set ourselves up for success better than the more random element of just scrying at the top and being like, yes or no.
Yeah.
Like, what do I need? Okay, well, I'm never going to play this 5-drop right away. So that's going to the bottom. I didn't even want my open hand anyway. So we're fine for a while.
Yeah.
So
and I love
it.
that decision aspect of it.
That's true.
I love that there is that critical piece of like, you're deciding what to take out of your hand.
You are. And it's a tough decision. It's not easy.
I think the last time Judge Rob was here, he talked about it. It's like, it will cause more regrets than any previous mulligan.
Great way to put it, Rob.
Because you'll just be like, oh, I should not have. I threw away the wrong card.
Yeah, you will have those regrets. It's true. And some people have mentioned that now, because of this, it's easier to set yourself up with what we call a god hand or whatever in Magic, the ideal opening hand that you want, which means it's often better to mulligan more often, right?
Oh, I feel like this mulligan is striking a good balance, though.
It is.
Between, like I said, card disadvantage, just maybe it's because it's my jam and I like card advantage.
Yeah.
But I don't know if your hand is solid but not busted, are you going to mulligan it?
Very, very good question.
And I think the answer should be no.
I guess it depends on the deck you're playing.
Yeah. And I feel like right now people are maybe erring more on the side of like, yes, then maybe they should be.
Well, I'm coming at it from the example of playing the Vampires deck in Standard, which is a deck that has built-in card advantage to itself, meaning that it has ways to draw extra cards and cheat that into happening when it definitely should not be happening with Champion of Dusk and Sorin. And also that, like, say my opening hand was something like 2 Adanto Vanguards and a Legion's Landing, which in a normal game of Magic, you're kind of like, well, this is okay, but is actually super, super lackluster in a world of the London Mulligan.
Yes.
Because my opponents are more likely to have a good hand, opening hand versus me, and my hand has got to, this is what I think to myself, is this hand going to do something remotely resembling the thing that my deck wants to do?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, which in that case, with that hand, it is, yeah, Adanto Vanguard is great. Yes, Legion Landing is a card you want on turn 1.
Yeah.
Yes, I have all of my colors, but is it doing the thing that my deck wants to do? No, it is not.
What are you going to draw that's better?
So in that case, I would say, well, I want to draw either Sorin, I want to draw which makes basically anything in my game plan start to work, or a Legion, a Dusk Legion Zealot, which draws me a card to help get myself out of the mulligan that I just put myself into, or something that is a combo piece or interaction perhaps, or something like that.
I guess it just feels interesting to me that it's like you're willing to throw back what is a solid hand on a chance of getting, if you're like, you want a Sorin, and it's like, okay, but then what about the other cards in your hand?
Yeah.
Like, what if it's, now you've got 2 Legion's Landings and a Sorin, and you're like, well, okay.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, so I guess I feel like, like I said, I think that it rides that balance nicely. Where I get that, I think that people right now very much are on the train of, well, if I have that 2 Adanto Vanguard and a Legion's Landing opening hand, I'm going to want to throw it back.
Yeah.
Because it's not synergistic enough.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like maybe as we get farther on, it's going to feel a little bit more like that's a mistake.
I don't know.
Not all the time, but, I think that it feels like because you're drawing 7 cards on your mulligan, you have a better chance, and you do, but it's also only one card more than if you had just done the previous mulligan to 6.
I think right now I'm very happy with mulliganing to 6 off of that.
Yeah.
Is how I've felt, at least playing out my games. And basically because mathematically the chance of your opponent having a more powerful hand is higher.
Yeah.
And so to counteract that, I want to put myself in the best position to face that powerful draw.
Vampires is also interesting to me because it feels like one of the ones where, like, if I'm a control deck playing against this, it's one of the decks where what I'm waiting for is for them to run out of cards.
Oh, sure.
So if my Vampires opponent mulligans to 6 or to 5, I'm just like, great. Now,
so what are you playing in this scenario?
Like, let's say in this case, it's like Esper Control.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I'm like sitting there being like, okay, because a lot of those times, if I'm playing control against aggro, I'm always just counting down the cards in their hand. And it's like, once I see that they have 1, I'm like, okay, I can still now I can win this game.
Now we can go at it. Yeah, in which case my hand of 2 Adanto Vanguards would be very good against you. Yeah. But I suppose that's a narrow case scenario that I'm playing that opponent.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't feel convinced yet that there is like a hard and fast answer to should I be mulliganing more? And I'm sure that people are going to be like, yes, the answer is yes, you should be.
Well, I'll be on the yes side.
But I'm a skeptic.
So this is why this podcast is a good balance.
Because I love card advantage. I just love it so much.
Oh, and you know what? Let's talk about M20 Draft really quick, because I think card advantage in M20 Draft is the secret to success.
Oh man, and this comes around every core set. It's true of every core set because the set is so straightforward.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, all of the creatures do a simple, straightforward thing. The spells do a simple, straightforward thing. What is the way that you get ahead?
Card advantage.
More of them. Having more of them.
And drafting teamer colors.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Just a little
blue-red is very good.
note from me to you. Avoid white like the plague.
Yes.
It's not good. But I guess I've seen some complaints of people thinking that the London Mulligan now is even too powerful, which is was the worry going into the London Pro Tour, which was modern. People are like, Tron is going to take this whole thing down without even breaking a sweat because of the London Mulligan.
And it wasn't too busted.
There. Yeah. It didn't happen. So
you're telling me that your Mulligan that was not too busted for modern is too busted for standard? I don't think so.
No. Get out of here with that. So, I guess, so that was my piece of London Mulligan advice was that in standard, I would mulligan to a hand that was more along the lines of something that my deck wanted to do. In draft, I think, it's more similar to the Vancouver Mulligan.
Yeah.
That you're not going to be like, oh, also getting synergy in draft is also harder. But that's that would be my basic tip.
Yeah.
As far as constructed goes with the London Mulligan. For you, is there anything that you're thinking about drawing your opening hand with the London Mulligan, or are you still kind of like in the Vancouver world, same kind of guiding principles?
I think for me, it just still comes down to looking at it and being like, I guess maybe I just have less stringent metrics for what makes my hand successful.
Yeah.
So I think I still look at it in terms of okay, if I've got 3 lands and 4 spells and they're not all super expensive spells, I'm going to be able to cast something turn 2 or turn 3. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to keep that.
Maybe this is all just a product of the kind of deck we like to play.
I was going to say, at the same time though, I'm not playing a lot of creatures.
You're drawing cards, so you're like, well, I'll find what I need. So
exactly.
That could definitely be part of it.
I'm more worried about the tempo of my hand.
Yeah.
The pace at which it plays out. And I guess I do feel like I've been a little bit more willing to mulligan if I've looked at a hand that it's oh, my first spell isn't until turn 3. I'm like, well, and it's not super impactful. I'm like, okay, I'm going to maybe throw this back.
Sure.
Because I know that I want to be able to interact with what people are doing on turn 2.
What deck and standard are you most interested in at the moment?
Scape Shift.
I knew it.
Let's just do weird things with lands.
It's also the best deck right now, I would argue.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It looks pretty cool.
It's so hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And in Vampire's case, I would keep that double Adanto hand against that deck. But it's really hard to deal with. Did you try the Simic Flash deck?
I have not tried it out.
I don't know where it went. It was everywhere a few weeks ago, and now I'm not facing it at all.
Well,
which I'm very happy about because I hated it. It was just so annoying to play against.
I'll go find it. I'll go find it, so I'll make sure that someone's out there playing it online.
Ooh, what are you going to play against people in the challenge if they choose standard?
If they choose standard, it's a secret.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, you don't get to know. I'll play something exciting though.
Yeah, and by the way, we're going to stream those events, so you can watch and watch us play our patrons. If you're even not a patron, you can hang out and watch twitch.tv/GLHF Magic and watch us do our thing. Beat every listener that challenges us, basically.
Wow, you hear that? We're coming for you. Ooh.
If you have thoughts on the London Mulligan, let us know on Twitter. We're at GLHF Magic on Twitter. You can use the hashtag tea time for a mulligan. Talking a lot about Commander on today's episode, so I figured we'd talk about some cool Commander products from Ultra Pro.
Oh yeah, there's this beautiful, huge dice set.
Yeah.
For any planeswalkers that you're using in your Commander decks.
Check it out.
Or anywhere around the multiverse that you're using Commanders. They're so big and they have the little logo on them.
Yeah,
it's great.
Beautiful.
Ugh. And then we have a relic token.
Look at these.
A legendary relic token.
So these are favorite commanders of people. around the world. You can open these up, and they're giant tokens that keep track of your life total. If you want how many
the number
times
of times you've cast your commander. Should we crack this one?
Should we open
Were
it?
you just gonna dangle it and not
Okay,
open
we're gonna open it. We're gonna open it.
Who are you? There's the little spot right there. There's the
you're
tear
right.
thing. There you go.
They made this for people like me. In the end, who did we get? Ooh, the old Kalia of the Vast.
Wow.
This is beautiful, and she's foil.
Yeah, all of these ones, and they have the little legendary border along the top.
Yeah,
Love it.
I think this is beautiful.
Looking great.
Also, the number of times we've cast her is 20.
Wow.
As you can see by this.
This game has gone long.
This is a long game.
This has gone very, very long.
So yeah, these beautiful relic tokens from Ultra Pro, all the stuff you would need for Commander deck boxes. The new Commander decks, by the way, they're going to make playmats, sleeves, deck boxes with the art, of course, because that's how Ultra Pro rolls.
So if you really love that new Morph Commander, I know you do.
You can get everything for them.
You can get everything for them.
Amazing. There you go. That's this episode of Good Luck High Five. Thank you so much for listening. If you are thinking to yourself, what? It's already over. Guess what? You can go listen to the upkeep.
That's right. You can.
We've got a sister podcast. That's the word I was looking for. A sister podcast that recaps all the Magic news
in
from
10
the week.
10 minutes or less.
10 minutes or less. You can find that in the RSS feed of wherever you find your podcasts. It's also on our website, goodluckhighfive.com, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodluckhighfive. So
remember to become a patron and sign up to hang out with us this month. It's super awesome. Remember to support our awesome sponsors, Ultra Pro, with all of their sick playmats, relic tokens, deck boxes, dice, and Card Kingdom. Just the best place to order from.
Yeah, absolutely. Come say hi once again at Grand Prix Minneapolis Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. at the Weird Cards booth. Bring your cards to donate as well. If you've got bulk that you're not interested in, they will take as much as you have. Somebody had a question like, I have so much. Do they really want that much? The answer is yes.
Yes.
They will take pallets. They will take a truckload if you want to back your truck in and dump your cards in. They will take that. And they're just a really good company. So Weird Cards, charitable organization, will be at that booth 1 to 2. Come say high five. Wait, what did I just say? Come say high five?
Yep, you did. Come say high five.